stock. We've been speaking all morning about this brand new shareholder letter from JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon. We've called it a must read. Dimon says that he is bullish for the next few years thanks to the government's economic response to the pandemic, but does have concerns about inflation. I know our next guest has some of the same concerns. Rupal Bansali, Ariel Investments CIO and portfolio manager of international and global equities. And that seems to be a theme in terms of how you're thinking about equities and credit, Rupal.
Absolutely. I think, from a stock market standpoint, there are two things that he said, which I concur with. Valuations are rich. So one is to look for opportunity in areas, where it's not already mined. And the second is negative real rates are probably here to stay, given the rising inflation and interest rates have not caught up yet. The beneficiary of that actually is probably going to be Europe, because Europe has been fighting deflation. So this bout of inflationary impulses that we have caught, I think are actually helpful. And frankly, the way to play this, because ultimately, we have to think about how do we make money for our clients from an investment standpoint. I actually think a contrarian idea is to own utilities in Europe because they are an infrastructure play. In Europe, they don't have to rebuild their roads and highways as much as invest in electricity and the power grid, and utilities therefore can participate in that growth, but they also have very high returns in the form of dividend yields, which as investors, we can tip the coupons off. I mean, you take names like Endesa in Spain and Snam and Italgas in Italy, you can clip coupons of 5 to 9% dividend yields, which are fairly secure. So that's an opportunity worth considering.
One of the other things I was fascinated that you like as a sector is healthcare, relatively unloved.
Well, I'm a contrarian, so I'm always looking for things that are out of favor or overlooked. And I found it intriguing. The cyclical rally has obviously been very long in the tooth, since November. And I think the valuations in that portion of the market are actually quite rich when you normalize earnings power. On the other hand, nobody thinks of healthcare as being cyclical because, generally it's not GDP sensitive, except for last year, since the crisis was in that industry, a lot of people postponed their doctor's visits. They didn't go for even basic routine diagnostic testing. So I actually think that there's going to be a big recovery from that low base going into 21 and 22. And that's not priced into the healthcare stocks, especially the big pharma stocks. Right. Once again, the opportunity is overseas, not in the U.S.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.